All right, you're on candid camera, you guys.
Okay.
So,
Yay.
um, great. Well, I've got my apologies, and you guys, I know. Did you see my email that came through this morning? I
Yeah.
I sent an email that had a bunch of documents and the agenda, and I meant to send that last night. But like I say, when I logged in this morning, I saw that it was still sitting in my draft box. So anyway, so you guys didn't get it either, but it was late at night, so I don't think anybody would have had a chance to look at them. So I have hard copies of. I'm feeling like John Anderson.
Not nearly high enough stature.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I don't have a box. I don't have a big box with 100 documents in it. Um, so anyway, so the agenda, as usual with me, I start thinking of all the things that I think we ought to talk about. On my agenda, I have highlighted some things that I want to particularly cover. And for B's benefit, these are the things that we'll kind of look at today. So we'd had a meeting back in March, and we had a report from that, and I some of the things in this report we have been working on, some of the things we have not. So I've got two sections here: follow-up actions that we've addressed, and then actions that we have not yet addressed, and we need to discuss and figure out if we want to do it. I've got a section here on committee assignments. I've got a section on registration documents, an area that we've done quite a bit of work on this year. And then there's an activities section, and then I've got one on volunteers, one on transportation, one on food, and then fundraising. And those two things are things we want to kind of take a look at. And then just some informational stuff on promotion and miscellaneous things. So we won't cover every single line item on this thing, but we'll kind of use it as a general overview of topics. So the folks here at the table have a copy of this winter camp follow-up meeting that we did on March 7th. And so, having, my apologies for not getting this to you, say, a week ago. And so you can kind of take a look at it. But as you're perusing it here, we had talked about attendance, which was more just information about who is there. We talked about costs, and we had about the rising meal costs and what we're going to do about that. We talked about beverages, and Jim had some information about what Jim had sold. Talked about bottled water, some suggestions as to what we might want to do next year about the water.
Bring more water.
Bring more water. We talked about fundraising. So that was one of the things we talked about. We talked about several camper issues, specifically the issue that we had with the camper who had ingested a couple of gummies and was having some hard time, and we had to go to the ER with him. But also as part of that, we talked about, we had a camper who was, I'm going to say, kind of unruly. And she was kind of creating she was the daughter. There was a family that came, they were new, and there was a mom, her daughter, and her daughter. So there were three generations. And the daughter of the mom, the middle one, the middle generation, she was quite vocal in a number of ways, and you and she kind of locked horns a couple of times. And so we had talked about, how to deal with those situations. Okay. And so that's one of the things that we really probably ought to talk about, but we'll get to that. So we talked about the dorms and the fact that we were full at the dorm. We talked about registration. We talked about the linens, and we talked about the heat. Activities, really not a lot there. The only thing that really came out of the activities was that the craft section was not very well attended. So we've had some discussions with the campers on the chats about crafts, and I'll talk about that. We talked about travel, And the issues that Nick and Haley and the group from Flint and Bay City had getting home on the train. That was the issue, was getting home. And for those of you who don't know, so their train going home on Sunday was like it would get them into Detroit about, I don't know, 10 o'clock or
Flint.
and there was absolutely no one at the station, or the station wasn't even opened.
No.
And so they were desperately trying to find a ride, once the train, they
That was
departed the
cool.
train. And there was not a pleasant situation for them. A couple of things about the snake room. We'd had people come, well, the cadres, the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy people did not want the snake room to be open to the cadets or the associates for them just to hang out in, because they felt like they were kind of hiding.
Yeah.
It was a place that they could go hide, but we had some discussion about that because some felt that, they need a place to go, but anyway, that's yet to be resolved.
Actually, they could probably go down the basement.
Yeah.
Lunchroom.
Well, they'd be even more hard to find.
It'd be more.
Yeah.
Cause I remember the first year I was there, one of them was hiding in there, avoiding work.
Right. Right. So then we talked about the lunches, and we had some discussion about trying to put something on the lunches on the application. Do you want ham but we kind of had talked maybe at registration, we find out what they want on Sunday for their bagged lunch on Sunday, if they want a ham sandwich or if they want a turkey, and develop a list right at the beginning. And but part of that whole discussion is that we're going to need some more volunteers, at that point to do all these things, because like Art wants to take pictures at that point. And so we're going to need to think about getting some more people kind of surround that whole thing, so that we've got a handle on the registration. And I know, Peggy, it's very, very close to your heart, and I will own
Sure, you'll do.
but I had not, like disassembled the chart for the bunk assignments. And so that became kind of a great mess, because
Got that all straightened out though.
got it straightened out, but it could have been easier had I just had a blank board, and then used my sheets, that had everybody's name on them where they were supposed to go. I did find out, speaking of bunk placement, well, I did find out that one of the campers who came once and hasn't been back is that she basically couldn't get any sleep. This was Jessica Dale. And apparently she got put in with the group from Detroit area that like to talk all night. It's like having the sleepover, and they basically just kind of talk. And
Oh, yeah.
I know which group it is. It's all the way in the back.
And that would have been a while ago, because she hasn't been.
it was like 19. It was like
Yeah, that was-
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
few years ago.
21.
And but the reason she didn't come back to camp was that she had a bad experience, trying to get some sleep. And so I told her, I saw her recently at a conference I went to, and I said, well, we can put you, way on the other side, away from that. So she may come back this year, but
I know Jessica personally too, and Jessica is very finicky. Don't be surprised if she doesn't come back. She hasn't been back to the NFB stuff either.
yeah,
Coming right over.
at least she knows why that there's an option. So
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know that her and I have discussions quite often. She's very finicky. It's not really her, it's her mom. If we could just get her away from her family, she would grow and spread her wings.
right.
Coming right back
Okay.
to us, you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty family.
Oh, good. So we just got our food, so we're
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. So I'm going to start with the number 3, which is a review, follow-up actions, things we've addressed. So okay, so we did put a substance possession statement in the application, and it's also in the flyer that we hand out when we go to and it's even on I think it's even on the Braille. I don't know, did you see it on the Braille?
No,
No.
it is not.
Okay, I know I've got it on on the large print version of the information sheet, and I actually have copies of those. Let me just read what it says. So what I've got, what I changed on the application regarding that. I'll just wait a second here while
Here we go. Here's that one pancake, and I'm coming right back with everything else. Just keep running out of hands. I need to be a little octopus for a minute.
So on the application front page, I've got it says a note about camper health and safety and COVID. While there are currently no mandates for vaccines or masking, COVID is still with us. It is recommended that people who are elderly or at risk be current with COVID boosters if available. The use of masks is welcome, but it's not required. If you are sick or test positive for COVID at the time of the camp, we will ask you not to attend. COVID test kits will be available if needed. Winter camp will abide by any restrictions if a need arises for the safety of public health. Now, the next section is called alcohol and recreational cannabis. The Battle Creek Public Schools Outdoor Education Center is a school property. Therefore, under no circumstances will the use or possession of alcohol or recreational cannabis materials be tolerated. Those in violation will be asked to leave and will not be invited back. So that's what I've got in there. And
Now, if I may, this is Haley. So Paul Mayfield has reached out to me about coming to Michigan Ski for Light, and he said there's like 8 of them that are wanting to come because remember it started with our group, and he mentioned that he's looking forward to going to winter camp. I did not say anything. I kept my lips zipped, but I'm just giving all of you guys a heads up warning that he is planning on coming back and bringing some more people. So
okay.
that is already going to become an issue.
I
And
see.
his new girlfriend is running for mayor, and she's fully sighted, so they may try to use that as a leverage to get in.
Well, you'll have to deal with that as a group. But,
Yeah,
But if you didn't have language prior to that,
Right.
now we do.
We didn't have language prior to that, so
Same with us.
we have some language now. And
Right.
I guess I think we've always said that we reserve the right to reject an application.
Yes.
Yep.
And, so I mean, if it came down to it, we could use that, but we also would have a conversation about, what happened last year. And, so.
My bigger problem with what happened last year was his complete disregard for the situation.
Yes.
His response, his behavior, he treated it like it was a funny thing and did not care at all that this kid was really, really scared.
So
and I 100% agree with you,
I
Nancy.
went to summer camp this year for my first time, and Paul was not there, but there were several people that know him very closely, and this is just Paul's behavior all through events, and he's been to other states, and he has been not welcome to their events also because of his behavior. He thinks it's just all fun and games, and everybody should just get along and no problem at all. So he needs to be held accountable for his actions. And this is where we start, is with Michigan Ski for Light this year and you guys.
Right.
So I'm glad
agree
that we all can work
wholeheartedly
as a team to squash this, because he's a grown man.
What was everybody doing?
Right.
Well, the biggest problem is that it completely threw us in a disarray because it pulled 2 people out of our volunteer staff,
Yes.
be gone for hours.
Yes.
And then it put the rest of the staff on alert to be on alert for others.
Right. Yeah, it was not a good situation at all.
No.
So we'll deal with that. The next thing I had here was, so the situation about arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Not a serious situation like the substance position, but one that the folks that were in charge of the arts and crafts were disappointed with the turnout that they had and the participation. So we had a winter camp chat last weekend, And, a couple of things that came up were that the campers enjoyed, I think they still want arts and crafts, but maybe they want a different arts and craft. So they enjoyed the summer camp arts and crafts, which were apparently they did some leather work. They made some bracelets with leather and
Yes.
something they could take home and wear. And they also made some medallions that were, I don't know exactly what those were, but it was kind of a wood project, you know. So they made some sort of medallion, and I don't know if it was like a necklace or what it was,
Oh,
No.
the what was
Keychain.
or a keychain or something. Maybe, oh yeah, okay, maybe a keychain.
It was a keychain.
So anyway, so that's you know, a little better direction as to what they might enjoy to do. So I guess we just need to find somebody that would be willing to do that. And I think they have some folks over, and I don't know who does that at summer camp. Do their camp staff do that?
No, camp staff doesn't. We just do that.
Okay. All right. Well, somebody had to bring it, you know, had to bring the stuff. We have
Yeah,
money.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have money for that. So we'll look into that and see what we can do. The travel situation with the group from up northeast, they're going to drive this year. 'Cause
Yay.
the train just doesn't work. So hopefully
No, we're not.
you'll get a little bit of rest, or at least you can. I mean, you can come a little bit later. You know, you don't have to be there at the crack of dawn. So if you're working the night before, Nick, get some sleep before you come. So
Well, you'll have me early enough so you will have actually extra help.
okay.
Same with me. I'll help whatever I can do to help.
Okay. So the next thing, so things that we haven't really addressed yet. Let's see. Registration on Friday. We just need to, I mean, we do this every year. We think we have a plan, and then something happens to it. So, you know, we'll need to meet again a little bit, obviously before camp. Maybe I'll probably have another meeting in November if I can.
And don't we
And-
have the meeting at the camp? Right.
Sorry. Say that again.
That's just when we go over the meal.
The meeting at the camp.
When we choose the meals that we want.
Oh, that meeting. Yeah. Yes, that's a good point too. That's usually in early December. So if we need to meet in November, we can. If we don't need to, that's fine. Maybe wait till December, but you know, we do need to, you know, have a solid plan for the registration and make sure we have enough, you know, maybe we can start now and try to get some volunteers to say, yes, I'll be there, you know, to help with this. Even if they only come for that, you know, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
To get through that registration process with the number of people that we have. I know that we'll have people on the train again, so we'll have people coming in early, you know, earlier than some of the others, and we'll also try to make sure that the folks that are driving, you know, don't come at the very earliest. I know that there's some discussion about the lunch, you know, and so the folks that are on the train that we've been providing a light lunch for, you know, well, why are we feeding all these other people? You know, and well, you shouldn't worry about it because you're not paying for it unless you want to volunteer, or unless you want to donate towards that. So a lot of them do. Yeah. So anyway, so the other thing, a couple of things, we had also talked about the linen packs and how that always seems to be an issue, you know, with the count and, you know,
I think we did better
where
this year.
where are they? I think we had a better handle on it this year than we have in the past. For sure. Thank you, Peggy. You know, the men's side is never a big issue, but the women's side certainly is. And we talked about encouraging people to bring sleeping bags for extra warmth because there aren't extra blankets, or bring an extra blanket. That's in the pack list, actually. But people don't think about it. Now we have talked about, there was some discussion about heaters and whether or not we could have heaters in the dorm. And I have actually not talked to Matthew about that. I have a concern that they're not gonna like that.
I would be a fire.
I
Fire
think
hazard,
that
yeah.
was, I have in the past. And he told us no, because it's a fire hazard,
Yeah.
and when you get a bunch of blind people in there, you never know what's gonna go where.
Well, it seems like it, and I know that somebody had one last year,
Wow.
so.
Yeah, and you're
One
not,
of the
not sure what the electrical capability is, you overload it with them.
So I didn't know if
yeah.
where we were at, where we were in an unheated area with, and we were sighted. But after we got the sleeping bags, I felt like ours was okay.
One thing, yeah, you had it sleeping there.
I was gonna say that I think one of your Detroit
Sleeping bag, did you?
crew brung a heater with them last year, and yeah, the other thing I was gonna say, your wiring probably in your buildings, just looking and all the age of the buildings, I don't think your wiring could handle the electrical load on heaters.
And then another thing that the girls were talking about last year that they wondered is if they could bring heating blankets and plug them in. And I said, we'd have to talk to you guys about that one because heating blankets, they draw
Draw the same as a heater.
same electricity.
Exactly.
So I'd say no heaters, no heating blankets, because that's still a hazard to the system.
Plus, the girls leave them on all day and all night, then that could cause a fire too, or somebody get burned from leaving their
Right.
heating blankets on. So it's a
Okay.
health and safety issue.
Good point. Okay, no heaters. No heaters,
Or electric blankets.
blanket. So since I haven't sent these applications out yet,
Modify it.
I'm not gonna modify the application, but I'll put a
No.
sheet in, a note in about that. We used to have a sheet that we'd put into we used to have a sheet that, we stopped doing it because we thought that people were behaving. But it was sort of like it was sort of like a camper behavior sheet, and it was talking about, basically it talked about verbal abuse and, how people interact with each other and, staying away, I don't know. I'll have to find it, but we kind of thought that because we had a guy that was just nasty. He was just and part of it was, personal hygiene. Part of it entailed personal hygiene, and
Mhm.
you have to be cognizant of other people around you and how you affect people, even though you're fine with it. You're fine with how you smell, but other people may not be. And
Yep.
that kind of covered that sort of stuff. And we felt like, the one guy that was the violator, he stopped coming. But I'm thinking with some of these other things, with some of the behaviors that we saw, that we need to maybe reinstitute that to, just kind of remind people that, hey, and one of the other issues, and I hate to say this, but it's like
Monster
Daryl
squirrel.
No, that was a mouse.
has been known to kind of try to be more friendly than he should be with some of the women associates.
Okay.
And
You
and actually, the cadre, Larry Getman talked to me about that, and I think he might have even talked to Daryl himself
He did. The
about it.
girls talked to him.
But anyway, so that's another thing that, it's like that was another thing covered in that sheet was, don't be fraternizing with,
Yeah, we discussed that a couple years before that when some of the cadets got too friendly with the young lady.
right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's part of what we tell the cadets, we have a sheet for the cadets that talk about behavior, but we don't really have one for the campers.
What about
Talks about behavior with the cadets. So
That's all.
Anyway,
That's
so I'm gonna look at that. Now the other part of this discussion is we talked about, what a guidebook for for the volunteers, how to handle situations or what's the procedure, because that was a question, who do we call? and the answer to that was it would be either myself or Barry, if there's an issue and, to resolve it rather than try to resolve it on your own. So that's another part of that, I guess. And actually, I have a copy of it with me, but Nick sent me a copy of, they have a code of conduct for the Michigan Ski for Light, which is like a 3-page thing. And, it reads like a legal document. And I don't know if you've ever had to use that or not.
No, International uses it every year, but we just instituted it this year for our friends that we just discussed about their illegal substances last year and their constant talking and their constant not being in their assigned cabins and stuff last year because we had to move people from one dorm to another because they couldn't get sleep because they weren't being quiet, and this year we're not going to tolerate it. So we've decided to add that to our, make it easy instead of me having to make another whole page. I just added to our waiver of liability document right below it, like you guys incorporated it into your health and safety area.
Right.
That was it. Done. It's there. We're gonna give them the, obviously, the second chance. It's verbally here when you register. This is where it's at. Read it. Is it what you, now you're being told, you're gonna check off on it on the box online, and you fail to read it, you fail to understand it, you
And you're
and ask questions to it. Sorry, you're done. You're gonna get one warning. You don't listen. Here's the document. Bye-bye.
The other thing I will add to that is that
Yes,
if
ma'am.
something comes up again, after meeting with the camp staff last year, their response was they would have preferred one of them had gone with whoever the health officer was rather than Roger and I going, because that pulled 2 staff away.
Yeah,
Grab some plates out of your guys'. Oh, that's awesome.
And
Appreciate that.
he said that next year, he would make sure we had his number and he would have been the driver. And the other health person had said that had she realized that it wasn't going to be a hour thing, she would have preferred to have gone and left me there since I knew how the whole thing ran. So we learned a lot from that, but I
Yes.
will say the one thing that will happen in the future is we'll use the camp staff rather than taking, well, basically probably a quarter of the people that we had there as volunteers and have them be gone that long.
Yeah,
So,
that was a problem.
Yep. And I missed a talent show.
But
Yes. So
Everybody was upset about you both missing the talent show. So yes, everybody still talks about
Right.
that.
well, we
No, I think
it's just that we had lost a lot of our people who were knowledgeable about the whole running of the program. So that we have in place now. So
and that's, I think we had a great open dialogue discussion after that. Everybody got back and everybody came back with positive thoughts of how to fix this issue too for this year. So
Okay.
no repeats.
So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get that sheet that we had before
Mhm.
and kind of look at that, and I'll make some changes and send it out to you guys to review. And then we'll put that as a sheet, as a supplement into the application that goes out.
And we can make,
Sounds good.
you don't want to follow the rules, you will not be invited.
Right. Okay. Next section, registration documents. So I talked about the application. We did a lot of work. Barry did a huge amount of work on the electronic payment stuff. And we had a group working on the electronic registration, which went several different directions. And we finally ended up with this Google form that mirrors the application as far as the questions that are asked. It doesn't cost us anything. to do it, which we kind of avoided. We were going down the road of using like a website, and we ran into, well, whose server are we going to use? And one of the things that I found out was that Bear Lake Camp, Dave Weinman donates the server for Bear Lake Camp for all their registration activities and all those things. And yeah. And so we got some tips from them, but it still was going to be, there was going to be a cost. And, Nick looked at they have a person that has a server that they use for the Michigan Ski for Light. Jesse Bollinger has a server for the Clear Lake Virtual. But we just kind of wound up with this Google form. And so that's ready to go. We had it tested. Sam Rao, who came to camp last year, he is pretty tech savvy. And so he went through the application and found a couple of glitches that we had to fix. One being that you have to pay before you submit your registration. The way the thing is set up, you have to go to the payment section first and set up your payment, and then you can go through and submit your application. And so, because otherwise, if you submitted the application, you couldn't go back to the payment site for some reason. So it was sort of a glitch, and I don't know that we may be able to work that out, but
I think it got resolved.
But I think they changed so part of it was they changed the instructions to tell you how to go through the application. Now, B, we didn't send it to you to test. We can. It'd be a good idea probably for you to go through the application and see how you feel about it. But Sam felt that if somebody's used to going through electronic stuff with JAWS and that it was probably going to be okay.
Depends on the device.
Right. So
I'm finding that out because with the district newsletter now, I can't read it on my note taker. I can on my e-reader. Maybe I can on JAWS. So it really just depends on the device
right.
that you have.
Okay.
You having problems with this links, or is it generally what? I guess what are you having problems with?
He was wondering.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Do you have
Is
problems
it
with the links, or what is it that you have a hard time?
No, with the newsletter, it was because it was PDF.
okay?
It doesn't
So-
read, right?
It doesn't read it right.
PDF change.
Yes.
I had to
Okay.
actually put it in a different device to get it to read right.
Yeah. Okay. So you're correct. That issue is they got to stop sending it on PDF. They need to send it on Word doc because that's why your
However, I just registered for 3 different things with linesvirtual.org on my note taker now that they've updated the Braille Subs
We
Mini.
can have one box so we can share it.
Absolutely.
And it works beautifully.
I know that's.
That's good to hear.
Okay.
With PDF and Word a lot.
So I'm going to, I will forward, I just got the link from Kathy because we're going to send it out to the winter camp chat people.
yeah.
So you'll get it when you get the notes from the last winter camp chat.
We're just
So,
gonna send it to her.
You can check it out. Okay,
I want to mention on
sure.
payments. We've set up a number of things. We've got Venmo and PayPal and whatever the other one was.
That fee.
Some of them,
Zeffy?
yeah, and some of them charge fees, some don't.
Right, that's not
With-
good.
with,
Move on.
Thank you.
And then I'm
the
just gonna leave this, but you guys just come up front when you're ready. There's no rush. You guys can stay as long as you'd like. Want me to bring the coffee pot through one more time or anything? So I'm not bugging you?
The appreciation dinner now coming up on the fall conference. What seems to work best is we have a direct link to the bank account. No fees, goes directly into account. They don't need to have any other programs on their side. So,
Really? Okay.
so I'd recommend that. We'll get that link out there.
So direct link, okay.
Yeah.
All right, because last year, after I'd gone to several conferences, there was a lot of people who were, really more interested in electronic registration and payment.
Yeah.
And so So this was a direct response to that because last year, I mean, we were able to do it last year, but people had to fill in the Word document, type into the Word document. And this way they can just make a choice. They can just make a choice. And so I think it'll be a lot smoother, hopefully. Plus we get a list. We get a list of people that have registered that way. So,
One of the problems I had with PayPal and some of the others, is I get the payment, but it doesn't tell me who did it. You gotta wait, cross check, and then with PayPal, then you gotta go tell them to put it in the bank account.
I'm just gonna trick you if that's okay.
so you're recommending that the direct link app is the one to use. Because at this point, I know that the thing that came out with Nancy for the fall conference had like 4 or 5 things on it.
Yeah, and we find out this is the one that works best.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, people like no fee.
And
Dorothy can tell you that.
I sent it to William Miller,
Yeah,
and he's right on there, so.
okay,
He
great.
can do it, everybody can do it.
Oh, great.
Even B could do
Okay. All righty.
Yeah.
So,
it. Yeah.
well, I'm sure there'll be some hiccups. And there'll be questions. And people will call and say, hey, I can't get into this or whatever. So we'll deal with that. And I'm still gonna send out a bunch of applications. Because there's a bunch of people
Yeah.
that are gonna
What
want
they do.
paper applications, but we have, I don't know. Would you, out of 60 people, we ended up with 58, but out of 60 people that registered, do you know how many, do you have a feeling for how many actually paid electronically last year? Would have been like maybe 10%,
Yeah, I would guess
something like that. Yeah. So I think that'll increase as our older members drop off and newer people come in that are more used to that.
It's fun going to the bank with 30 checks from all different walks of life. And some of them are not real, but blind where the machine can't read them.
Right.
And money orders and all those.
Sure.
So, on the list here I'm going to go to activities now. So the only thing that's really under discussion is Friday night entertainment. And at one point, I haven't formally asked her, but I've been kidding with Haley that she's our new social director because she has lots of ideas about things we can do for entertainment. And so one of the things we're talking about, and actually I think on the chat, we didn't have a lot of people on the chat this last time, but was to have a movie night using audio descriptive movies and get a popcorn machine. And some people seem to be kind of excited about that. Now, I love Bobby Holly, but we've had him 3 years.
Yeah.
And every year he's in worse shape physically.
Yeah.
And his CDs are in worse shape physically. So they're always stopping and that sort of thing. And so I haven't talked to him, but I think maybe we'll give him a break and look at this movie thing. So we kind of talked about this last year a little bit, with a projector, so we have to figure out how we're going to do that. I think we're going to try to find some like DVDs that are audio descriptive rather than try to live stream.
Yeah, it'll run way
I can
smoother.
download
Because,
stuff.
the
at Disney Plus.
connectivity- not there.
Yeah.
Connectivity out of camp, they do have internet, but I mean, when the Clear Lake Virtual tried to do their live stream with the charter event, it didn't work well. So I think they've done some things since then, but go ahead, Nick.
Roger,
Yeah.
with my apps, I can pre-download movies through like Disney and HBO and stuff that are audio descriptive, and then
So, okay, that's good. Good. to
and
know.
then we can just play them, and then I got 2 portable projectors.
So, okay, well, we've got projectors.
Yeah.
So I know they have a big screen in there. They have a couple of big screens in that room. that you can
Yeah.
pull down.
Yeah.
And but I listened to an audio descriptive movie the other day on Netflix, or show.
Yep.
I was expecting it to be pretty intrusive, and kind of obnoxious, but it wasn't at all. It was just a voice. And B, you can chime in here, but it was,
It's on the movie.
yeah, I suppose the one I
And it-
watched basically said, it was reading all the titles. It was reading, the credits, that sort of thing, but it was kind of in just a normal voice. And so it's like, when there's dialogue, there's nothing going on, but there might be a little description of, if there's no dialogue, there's a description of what the scene is. So
Yeah,
the person
to
can't see
describe the background.
kind of have a visual of what's actually what's on the screen. So
Right, it'll describe the background. Say the kid's picking up the pencil and writing on the paper, or it'll say the background is blue with a orange sun in the background. So examples of it.
so
It is intrusive when and if you get a musical,
Uh-huh.
because they talk right over the songs.
Yeah. Well, there's three top movies that kind of have in my head for our age group, quote unquote. And one of them is like Homeward Bound, and that one's so laid back and easy because I watched that all the time on audio descriptive because that's all I can do now to myself, and it's super easy and it's not going to stress everybody's brain out that's in the older generation that's like, I've never done this before in my life.
So that's one.
Yeah.
So right. Send me your
I
list.
will. I'll
Um,
send the lists. What I'll do is I'll get feedback from everybody that I'm still connected with too that's coming to our camp, and I'll kind of see what they want, and then we can have a poll on maybe Friday night at supper. Everybody vote 1 through 3 on the movie or whatever, 1 and 2, and then we can have it set and ready for that night. And then also the other idea I had for the popcorn, instead of having a popcorn machine and all that mess, is Nick and I already said we would be more than willing to buy and donate, go to Sam's Club and buy the already pre-popped popcorn, individual bags of the different flavors and stuff like that, because then that's way less mess and hassle. And then everybody can enjoy themselves.
Great.
That's
Thank
a
you.
great idea.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of one of the recent discussions we've been having about Friday night. Of course, the talent show would still be Saturday night, and that's, outdoor activities. The one thing that I've got to check, the guy that Rick Eschheis, he lost one of his horses.
I thought it was pregnant.
I'm not sure which one, but he lost one of his draft horses, and so he's actively trying to find another horse. And actually, the Tillers International, where he is a manager of, they lost one of their draft horses. So I've got to get with him. His friend, my friend that volunteers out there now and has come out, Ross has come out to camp the last couple of years. He's kind of keeping me informed of what's going on. But anyway, so we may have to start looking at another. I'm going to talk to him and see if he's got a plan B or if he's got an alternative. If somebody that, because I mean that's a hugely popular thing.
Yeah.
To have the horse and wagon ride.
We could do it the other way around. We're gonna harness up all the blind campers to have them pull.
Oh yeah, I love that idea.
And what,
Oh.
you cited people ride?
Yes, that's a good idea. I
That,
like
that
that.
might make me a little nervous.
No,
but that's
wouldn't me
okay.
We'll just be shouting, go left, go left, go right, go right.
A mush. A mush.
Watch out for that.
Nice.
Not for that tree. So
George King of the Jungle.
a couple of new suggestions that have come up just recently, down here on B is, in fact, I think whether or not Jessica comes or not, another guy named Eric Costin, he's a ham radio enthusiast, as is Jessica Dale. And so when I met them at the MACBVI conference, Eric was, and in fact, he joined our last chat. and was interested in all the camps that are going on, summer camp, Michigan Ski for Light, winter camp. And so he talked about maybe bringing a setup, a ham radio setup, which we can maybe put in the snake room, and do some of that. So I haven't talked to Mike Gino. Did you?
He called me about a month ago.
Right.
And
How's he doing?
he's doing better. He just had another chemo, I think, at this point. But he said he was doing better and he sure hoped he can't.
Okay. Because he's done the old time radio thing,
Right.
and he actually also has some videos of. That's one of the things that we tried to do a couple years ago was he's got video of talent shows from camp, from like the 90s. And so they tried to set that up to show on and so they were sitting with a laptop, with about 10 people kind of huddled around the laptop trying to watch this thing. And so that was something that he wanted to develop more in future years, but then he got sick. So anyway, so that's a possibility of something we might be able to pull together. There was talk last year about doing a yearbook project, and because some of the campers were interested in having like a yearbook to say, okay, these are the people that attended, and these were the activities, and this is who won the talent show, and just sort of have that kind of put together. We didn't quite ever get to the point of fleshing that out. And I know, Art, you kind of looked at that because you're our picture taker.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if that's something that we ought to try to do. I think it's still not a bad idea.
I think it's a good idea. The part of my thing is, after I take the pictures, I still don't know the people well enough to label the people, and it takes a long time to put the labels together and put the directory together.
Right.
And I should probably have somebody that's quicker on faces and names to work with me.
Okay, so that's another, because you want to try to do that right when they register, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was your attempt.
I take the pictures then, but to put together with their names, I'm slow on names and faces. And now I'm getting even slower on faces.
Right. So I mean, that's another reason to have some more volunteers, just to have like some stations. I think having everybody register in the one big room is a pretty good idea, because you're not, we're all together, but we just need to, logistically get it figured out so that, we have places for people to go, like, okay, stop here, get your picture taken, get your bunk assignment out the door to the dorm.
And we need to have the cadets where they're waiting for the next person to finish, take them over, because it kind of gets a disconnect where you got people that are waiting and there's nobody there. The cadets are in the other dorms and kind of standing around wondering what to do next.
Right.
They need to come right back.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
we do their sighted guide training, talk about a little bit what our plan is then.
Yeah.
They are, Hope is planning on doing a zone meeting again in January, where we would do the human guide training. And get the cadets there. I think that was a huge thing for the cadets last year, was to have them not just 45 minutes before everybody arrives, but actually have a session, like an hour and a half session of that activity to get used to it. And then at camp, have a refresher, because I thought I think that was a much better way to do that.
I think
So
that worked out real
we'll
well.
do that again. But let's think about the logistics of registration, and maybe when we get together again, we can maybe try to nail that down. And I'm thinking maybe we just target a couple of different things to talk about, highlight. So in November, if we get together, maybe do a Zoom meeting, and just talk about the logistics, and maybe at winter camp, or maybe at the fall conference, we can make a plea for more people to come to volunteer that day. We're actually we had a really good participation with clubs for this stride walk. All the clubs had somebody there helping out. And so I think we're getting, and we've been doing glasses sorting for a while, for a couple of years as a zone. And so I think we're developing better relationships between the clubs to do some of these things. And so, but if we can get some more folks to at least come over for Friday, and help with registration, that would be a huge help, I think.
Yeah, I think in many years past, it was basically a Region 3 project, and they had people from everywhere. over
Oh, yeah.
there, but that's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Right.
We need to regenerate it.
Yeah.
Right. Scott,
What about the KCC nurses or, the volunteer service? See if they wanna help on.
I'm sure Carrie is interested.
Yeah.
She's,
so we have a woman that's she's a nursing student, but this is kind of interesting because I got a random email from this lady saying, "Hey, my name's Cherry Ralston, and I'm a nursing student. I'm taking a service learning course, and I'd like to, get involved with, the Lions Club to do this class, to fulfill my requirements for this class." And so she's she's an adult. She's not a 20-year-old. She's an adult.
she's probably
But
mid-40s.
it turns out that one of the members of the host club is her neighbor and her driver because she doesn't drive. And so they were talking about that, and this lady said, "Well, you should get involved with the Lions Club," which wasn't on KCC's list of agencies to partner with. And so she did a Google search, and our Serial City comes up on a Google search apparently, because I get a lot of random emails from people. So anyway, so she ended up finding her way to our club, and so that she's been working with us on a number of different things and service projects, and so because it's just like somebody in National Honor Society, she needs to have 24 hours of community service as part of her requirements. So she's like, "Whatever you guys are doing, let me know." And then I found out that she needed to get some experience planning. That was kind of a surprise because that wasn't in her initial request. And so Dorothy got her involved in the Stride Walk planning and some of the management there. So even though her class will be over, I think we could probably get her out, to help, at winter camp. So, and the host has a few new members that are interested in doing more things. So instead of just sitting at the museum on Sundays. And so anyway, I think we even had Penfield out there, doing stuff. So that's, so anyway, I think that's a good, we could at least get some more volunteers, but it'd be good to get folks from, more folks from the Jackson area and even further away if we can, at least for a day, so. Okay, there was another suggestion on last year. This was actually on recognitions. So like oldest, youngest, farthest traveled campers, we do the king and queen, but we've never done anything to recognize who came. Of course, Jesse Bollinger would win that every year,
Yeah.
so that may not be the best thing, but the oldest and the youngest certainly might be something to recognize.
Or you might do second farthest.
We could,
Yeah, right.
we could do the cutest night win that every year.
There you go.
I'm sorry, B, what was that?
That would be Shirley Katzenberger every year.
Actually, she's from Indiana. And
she'd be the second farthest.
she'd be the second farthest, and then Jesse and Kristen, well, she's got a different name now.
Serene.
So what was up with that?
Oh, don't even.
Okay, I won't ask, but anyway, so it's not Kristen anymore. It's
No.
Serene something or other.
Serene Bollinger.
Okay. Well, people change their names,
Yep.
Anyway, so that's a thought. We could do that. That's easy to do. Let's see, transportation. We had a couple of new things last year. We had Roshni Patel helped us over in Dearborn with the Dearborn passengers on Sunday, where there was never anybody at the station. Just like Battle Creek. Battle Creek does not have anybody at the station on Sunday. They have a station master. They don't have any extra help. But that's why Serial City basically helps people off the train and back on the train. Well, anyway, so not last year, but the year before, we had a really bad experience, as we talked about, with Dearborn, where the conductor, who was the worst person in the world that day, maybe he's a nice guy, but that day he was the worst person in the world, essentially threw the luggage off the train onto the platform. Jerry Campbell was part of that group, and they were just so concerned that he was gonna. In fact, somebody actually, I think there was a sighted person on the train that was with the group, and she basically ran up to the guy. He was holding his mandolin. He said, "Give me that mandolin," and she carried it off the train and gave it to him. But anyway, so Roshni and her husband and somebody else from their club met the folks at the train, and I think it went really smooth. We had some folks from Lansing last year, and they didn't have a way to get there because anywhere in that latitude, it's difficult to get to Battle Creek.
Last grant.
So Brett Barrissey and Eileen, I can't remember her name, but anyway, one of their other folks volunteered to bring the folks to camp and then took them home.
Yeah.
So that was huge. That was our troublemaker.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are kind of things that we'd like to try to develop. And actually, when I was, I kind of hinted when I was up in E2, who never sends anybody because it's so far away. I talked to them about that. And they were kind of like, they seemed amenable to, if there was people up there that maybe they could get some people around to help bring them to camp possibly. So.
And the one year, I think it was E1 donated $500.
Yeah.
Even though they never send you too far away.
Actually, Barb Derflinger.
Yeah.
So I went up. So Brian Cook and I went up there to do this zone chair training, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
And anyway, Barb was there, and she goes, "Hey, I haven't heard anything about winter camp. I want to send you guys some money, but you haven't called me, And I was like, okay, send money. She goes, "We got a lot of money in our camping account. We want to spend it somewhere." So anyway, let's see. Transportation. So we'll kind of see, kind of depends on where the campers are coming from, what kind of needs they have, and it's not something we can solve right now. We just have to kind of work through it as they sign up. On number 9, on number 9 is food operational costs. I think it's this year that housing is going to go up $500. So the normal thing for the last several years has been $1,000 a night, $2,000 for the weekend. I think Matthew told me that this year it's going to be $2,500. So anyway, costs keep going up. So that gets to fundraising. And so I've got my shave coming up for the fall conference. And I've raised about I don't know what it is today, but it's over $2,000 that I've raised since I started. And actually our winter camp account has almost $5,000 in it right now. And thanks to you guys. And actually one of the well, I've got the thing here somewhere. Of course I won't find it. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we'll make that a well-kept secret.
Yeah,
so we don't.
Right. 4790. And so thanks to Art for the Cascades group, they donated $600 back in 25. And then the Interlakes Lions, and I guess I wasn't aware of this. Interlakes Lions, and maybe they're no longer, right?
They're gone.
So they put $1,000 in back in 21. So this is money that we've kind of had
I
sitting
think that might have been when they were disbanding.
when they were
Yeah.
disbanding, right? Because for some reason that wasn't on my radar. But anyway, so this is a list of people that have been
Okay.
contributing to the fundraiser. So I hope I won't disappoint. We're still working out the details on. I talked to Rod Leathers, and he was taking donations for like a chance to snip off some of his beard or to color his beard or color his hair and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
They were he had a donation box up there, and so people would
That was my concern. We want to try and soak as much money out of people as
Right.
possible.
right.
Maybe have a donation box for who wants to trim and pay money to trim it.
Well, that's it. That's exactly right. That's exactly it. Yeah.
So you really want me to do it?
We'll give you some rounded scissors. We'll give you some that no one's
No,
gonna get hurt.
okay. I'll give,
Maybe I did Rod's first cut, so
Yeah.
Roger will still stay alive, so
There's
you
a
don't gotta
picture,
worry.
there's a picture of Haley clipping Rod's first clip on his hair. Some, I think it was on his hair, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
anyway, that was pretty funny, that whole thing, and I missed it. You know, I was really sad.
that
But
was great.
so it's looking like we maybe get another $1,200 from the Knights of Pythias this year. They kind of got some of their act together.
Who's that group anyway? It's a friend of ours.
It's a friend of ours.
It's a service group.
Oh,
It's an
cool.
old service group. I mean, they were formed back in the early 1900s, same year as Boy Scouts, actually. But it's sort of like I call it the Protestant version of the Knights of Columbus.
Gotcha, okay.
You know. So anyway, then Anita called the other day and said, "Hey, why don't we make T-shirts or sweatshirts with the Winter Camp logo?" And so I'm looking into that. The other thing that have been thinking about is getting this remade. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Winter camp for the blind pins.
I'll pass it around. That was produced in 1986. I don't know what happened in 1986, but apparently it was a big year because there's a few things floating around.
50 years ago, next year.
Oh. So anyway,
40 years next year.
Yeah.
so we talked about a fish shanty sinking pool. And so last year would have been perfect for that since the lake was frozen over. But I'd like to start thinking about that because I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, we need something that's gonna be a semi-permanent
Right.
that we can count on. And the way Cadillac Lions do it, it's a big deal, and they would do it through the entire state.
Okay.
We need to get money from outside our district.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I know I had talked to you guys about and probably sent the letter around that I had drafted up to send to the district governors. I didn't send that, but I will because we don't need the money right now. I mean, and we're doing this thing with the shaving thing, so I didn't want to, just throw too many things out there at once. So we'll just kind of keep that going.
Where we stand right now is the account's got 5,000 in it, and with the parade of checks, we're about 5,000. So we got this year covered.
Right.
But we got to worry about the
Right.
ensuing years because it's 10,000 now. So.
Yeah. Right. So I've got this one graphic that if I can find it.
Should I mention my idea?
Yes, you may.
That I talked with you about, Peggy? What about a carnival?
A carnival or the carnival?
A carnival,
Oh,
where we could have like a cakewalk and whatever, hot dogs, games.
Well, it's like Michigan Center. It's an all hands effort, takes hundreds of people, and we don't have hundreds of people to do it.
We might be surprised if we actually,
You're gonna take your phone with you if you want.
did I lose you?
if we actually
You're back.
got the idea out, I mean, if we enlisted other organizations to help.
I'm not.
Maybe we can
Um,
get Justin to come over with his roach coach
The
and fries.
Their face was there for a second.
yeah, I think they're back.
I'm back. Sorry, I clicked out of. I was
No problem.
closing the windows and booted myself out.
I heard the doorbell ring.
Yeah, that was me.
So Bedford has volunteered. We're agreeable to do like a dinner, like a fundraising dinner kind of
Hey, will
thing.
you pull my two,
But
top five?
maybe doing a carnival, I don't know if that's they used to do the Hard of Hearing
Yeah.
picnic at the Bedford Clubhouse until they ran out of hard of hearing people, or they kind of lost touch with all the people that were hard of hearing in the area.
It's kind of like welcome homes where they really didn't need to have that kind of
Right.
thing anymore.
Right.
The one thing I don't like about this pen. Is what I don't like about most pens.
The color.
I think it's a cool shape. but all you feel is, you have to feel around the edges to feel anything, and then there's this screw right in the middle.
The Lions logo.
That's actually the Lions logo.
But it looks like a screw, it doesn't look like. To
We can look
a
for
blind person,
a
it doesn't.
redesign of some kind.
Right.
Yeah, it
So-
doesn't look like, it's just like with, my pin where the Lions logo is. It's not quite like that, but it does, it feels just like a screw.
Like it's protruding,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Derek Dean works for a fulfillment company. And so his company makes these shirts like that. And we've
They
ordered,
did our stride shirts.
they did our stride shirts for us. And it's pretty reasonable. And so he's looking at possible, like a shirt with the winter camp logo that's on my thing, which is sort of like, it looks like a tree. It's got trees and a cabin kind of thing and some stuff on it. And I think we're good. Thank you so much.
My daughter does shirts. And if I could get a logo, I could send to her and see if she could do them for us, and we can get them for about $8 a shirt.
You're gonna have shipping costs and stuff to add
She
to it.
doesn't charge me shipping.
It's all included. No such thing as free.
Still for $8.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, you can sell them for 15.
Eight bucks
sell
a
them for
pop is
15,
not a bad deal.
So on this pin, so I showed this to Derek.
Thank you.
So Derek had his company make up
Serial City pins.
our Serial City pin, which is, if you've seen that, it's a round pin with like wheat shots on it.
Yeah.
And so, and I don't know, he got those made really inexpensively. I think we had to order a bunch, but we'll have them forever. He was looking at this pin and so you could feel that there's there's some different heights and elevations on this thing. He said this is a complicated pin because it's like a 3-piece. There's like a base,
Yeah,
and then
3 layers.
there's the layer on top with the cabin, and then you've got the little button with the Lions logo. So he's anticipating that this would be kind of an expensive pin to reproduce this way.
As
You know.
district governor, you go through, the pin companies are there and you can see all the different types you can get. And of course, the more you order, the cheaper the price.
Right.
Depending on which kind you go with, it
Yeah.
affects the price. So
Right.
that's why we really need to take a look at it and B says come up with something that's, particularly since we deal with a lot of flooding, that's something
Right.
they can actually feel.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, the engraving, as far as like the print, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because it's not really all that, and it's easy for you guys to say on the shirts that the embroidery is easy to feel. You can't really distinguish what it says on a lot of the embroidered shirts. So that's not gonna matter, but at least they can feel something cool on there.
right. I was thinking about the Clear Lake virtual pin. And I've got one of those, and I'm trying to and it's a kind of a squarish pin with the stick figure walking with a cane. And I don't know if it's relieved so that you could actually feel that.
Not really.
It's not, okay. I don't know if that's something that's helpful or, but so anyway, but it's been suggested a couple of different times that we try to reproduce this pin somehow.
Yeah,
Because
there's no way to make that kind of stuff
accessible.
feelable.
Yeah.
I think if we sent you to Hong Kong to the LCI convention, you could go to the pin companies there and get some estimates.
Send who to Hong Kong? Roger?
Roger, of course.
Why would I want to go there?
So you can,
Because then you get what you want built.
Why not?
Winter camp,
Money, right?
yeah, I was gonna say Winter Camp doesn't have a budget for that, but
Because Hong Kong can do what they want, because Hong Kong can build anything you want, Roger.
right. Yeah, so Derek's gonna look at it, kind of give his opinion about what it might cost. But anyway, just, that's another suggestion.
The normal governor's pins run about $2.50.
Right.
Each.
Well, I know that,
Okay,
what was
so
it?
how bad was mine?
I can't remember, but it was in the ballpark there because of the ordering the extra that you wanted. So, and actually, you're one of the few governors that has really been pushing the pins to where I think we're almost breaking even on them. And she
And
raised
it
it.
was really expensive was Mike's key.
Oh, and that was, I'm sorry, don't get me started on that one.
We're talking about governor pins now.
Um,
All it looked like was a big skeleton key. It didn't look
Yeah,
like
it was
much
like,
of
it
anything.
was a skeleton key. So, okay, so I'm interested, B, in your carnival idea. I'm interested in your carnival idea, so think about that a little bit more, and the question would be, where would we do it? You know,
That's the big question I had. I'm like, where would we do this?
I mean, the nice thing, if we did it in Battle Creek, I mean, the park across the street from the Bedford Clubhouse is a beautiful park.
But would we have to get permission from the county?
You just, it's like for township residents, it's free, and
Okay,
you just have to reserve it. You know, you get a key to drive in.
Get the population that's gonna do it. Well,
Well, that's a question, you know, I
a
mean,
lot of factors go in all that.
right. Scott,
In the mall,
in the mall, one of the
Here.
malls.
in Kalamazoo, yeah. Jackson.
maybe.
The Western Mall, maybe, but the Western Mall's like dead.
What about, online, or
Like
fundraising online?
So I got a suggestion for that, guys.
Like a double
Okay.
good.
Double good. You were just thinking my brainwave. Because actually Nick's shop, there's quite a few ladies that I've done it for, and they're already begging me, what's the next one? You know, Christmas is right here. We really want to buy some, and that's a super very big, profitable, quick, easy thing to do. You just build your own store real quick, and then you share it literally text message, Facebook, anything.
I know Clear Lake has been doing that. They've done a couple of them. And I think they're getting more successful,
well, it's
you know,
good quality.
and it's really good popcorn, actually.
It really is. I enjoy it.
You can see they're gonna switch away from Doubleton, don't you?
Yeah, they were looking into another fundraiser where they could sell more than just the popcorn.
Oh, so
Okay.
more variety.
The link, Sam Rowell just did that one. I can't think of the name, but B, I can send you the link. Roger, I can send you guys that link for that one. They have nuts and candies and all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
So it's not just one thing.
Right.
And we could even do that at Valentine's Day. Something, just an idea around that time when it's after the holidays, but it's an actual Hallmark holiday that
Right.
everybody goes out and does.
You know, and the thing is that I think the key to that is your reach. You know, how do you get it out? Who do you send it to?
Okay.
You know, if you get to the folks that are, you know, are interested in camp, or at least, I mean, I've had a lot of people that, most of these people that have donated to my thing are friends of mine.
Exactly.
You know, there are people I know through Facebook or just locally or whatever. Scott?
Well, if you put it to all the clubs and, you know, spread it out that way.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we have a large, you know, group of people in the Lions clubs, you know, that could help with this, you know.
And I was gonna say with the
Support it.
carnival, I would let me know ahead of time, and I'd love to come down and help you guys. That'd be so much fun. I'm a kid at heart, so
$1,000 or 15,000, I think, that first year. Did his
Oh,
whole
wow.
shape. Because he gave $5,000 to each of our 3 cancer projects.
oh, really? Wow. I didn't think he made that much on this last one.
I know it'd be a lot of work, but a fun run.
oh, that would be a blast, and I guarantee I can get a lot of people.
You know, I was
involved.
thinking about that was, you know, actually to have something out at the camp. Do like a run out at the camp, and then you can what they're doing nowadays is a virtual run.
Mhm.
So if you don't live in the area and you can't.
Roger Yoder.
It's Roger.
Roger Yoder.
See what, excuse me, let me.
What?
Hey, Roger, it is. You're on speaker.
Roger Yoder. Did I miss your camp meeting already?
We're still doing it, actually,
Right now?
right now.
So everybody's hearing me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can I make a proposal or should I call back later in the evening and meet during the meeting?
Well, whatever, what do you got? We're
This club would like to provide award certificates that could be printed off at the camp for the king and queen. So they would have something to take home with them, and also for the talent show, have a Lion certificate for the winning male talent show and the woman talent show winner. So those Lion certificates could be printed off right there at the camp in a timely manner, and they could take them home with them.
well, I think so, Roger, we kind of talked about this last year a little bit on the talent show. Because and it was kind of felt that that might be intimidating, and you know, if somebody didn't think they were very good, they just wouldn't participate. You know,
Disregard that proposal.
but I think, you know, we did talk about oldest and youngest and furthest traveled, and you know, and the king and queen. I think that's a great idea to have that a certificate. So
Thing, maybe the most important thing to me would be we would like to provide a Heart of a Lion award for Bobby Holly. So when you look at Bobby Holly, what he does for the camp and the enthusiasm and electricity that he provides during the weekend, the MYCA, the district has already provided them a community partner award early this year, so they're covered. But thinking about Buddy Holly and what he brings to the camp, with the, you know, if you could, the committee could consider that.
okay.
And our club would provide that Heart of a Lion award in behalf of 11B1. We would have that prepared, and maybe District B, Governor B could present that to Buddy.
So this is, you said the Ann Arbor,
And the more.
Hanover Horton. Okay, yeah, that's okay. I don't know what I was hearing. Hanover Horton. I was yeah, I wrote down Ann Arbor for a minute, and so that's why I was confused. So yes, Hanover Horton. Got it.
So our name wouldn't be on it. It'd be Lions of Michigan District 11B1, Heart of a Lion, Bobby Holly, and then you know, so it's in behalf of the district because it's a district event. So it wouldn't be from our club, but our club would coordinate it if that's fine with the committee.
Well, we're actually thinking about doing something a little different this year for the Friday night. Doing, because he's been with us 3 years, and he's I don't know how he is physically. He's still around, but you know, it's like he was having a little trouble last year. You know, with you know, some of his equipment and some of his you know, physical, you know, he wasn't able to, I think he had an injury or something like that. So, but yeah, we're still kind of discussing that.
Okay.
And it might actually be good to get him out there anyway,
I was gonna say,
just to make a
because-
presentation, you know,
Yeah, that's what I was,
and have him out for supper or something like that, you know. He might be upset that we could still give him a donation. You know, we just wouldn't make him work for it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm glad you called, because like I say, we're just in it right now. We're just doing it, and we're getting close to being done. But your timing was perfect.
So you know, we're just anything we can help with, we'll do that. So once again, I sincerely apologize.
Oh no, don't
We
apologize.
need some more volunteers, so.
And we do need volunteers. So if you want to bring some of your Hanover Horton people over to help volunteer, that'd be fantastic.
Even if it's just Friday, like,
I'll definitely see what I can do.
Okay.
If nothing else, me, my son and daughter. So, my daughter's with U of M Lions Club, but, we'll see if the three of us can assist you.
Great.
Maybe we get some of the U of M students to come over. All three of them, right?
So I
Yeah,
can maybe influence that one, but I'm not sure about the other.
right. Are you calling from the Philippines?
No, but,
You haven't left yet.
traveling on Monday for 5 weeks. So,
Okay. Trying to get everything all wrapped up.
yeah, and winter camp, I have a heart for that. Leonard gave a presentation to our Cascades Club, and I said, "Man, I want to be a part of that." But I had to wait 1 whole year for the next camp to come around. But
I remember that.
Well, we're glad to have your heart, Roger. That's for sure.
Roger?
well, I'll let you go, and the last thing anybody wants to do when they're conducting a meeting is be interrupted. So I
It's not an interruption.
You're not an interruption, Roger. We actually have 2 people on Zoom, and currently Nick and Haley Laskowski from Bay City, and who've become part of our committee, and now you. So we got all 3. We got all kinds of media going on here. So that's a great thing.
It's multimedia event.
Right. B, did you have something for Roger?
No, I had something for you, but
Oh,
I
okay.
can't remember what I.
You're welcome to stay on and listen. So,
well, I have a lot of things to tidy up here.
okay. All righty.
And
Thanks, Raj.
everyone have a good day.
Okay. Safe travels. Safe travels.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.
I had a question because we haven't done this in the past. But because I've been the camper incognito for many, many years. And it's the first time that you're gonna have a DG who's blind. What if I not only did a speech for the campers, but did one for the volunteers at lunchtime?
That'd be wonderful.
I know, I'm creating more work for me.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a governor there that's concerned about it and wants to say a few words,
Right.
meaningful words.
Yes.
Because the thing I've noticed is that we have never had, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but we've never had the district governor speak to the volunteers.
Not to the volunteers, but they have to the campers.
Exactly,
Right.
and I think they need to, I think we've kind of missed the boat by doing it that way, because a lot of the volunteers are Lions you don't normally see serving at other events.
Right.
And
Well, there's,
you want to encourage them to serve.
we have different sections, so we have the Penfield in the morning, and we had Bedford at lunchtime, and so it's different groups at different times, so you never get them all together at one time.
Right, but I mean, I'd be willing to
Well, you
talk to the different groups, and I'm sure next year I'm probably not being fair by speaking for Teresa, but because of her involvement with the camp too, that that's something she might be willing to do, but I really do think we need to connect.
Yeah,
I think that
Well,
would be
you'll be
absolutely
there. You'll be there at breakfast. And
Yeah. I will.
so you can always, and usually Saturday is the day we have more Penfield volunteers.
Yeah.
They tend to drop off on Sunday.
yeah.
And then
But
Bedford volunteers are there for the
for the
big
lunch, yeah.
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a great idea, Beeb. That's wonderful. I think they would appreciate it.
So I'm willing to do like 4 or 5. We'll figure it out, but
Okay.
I just think we need to do something like that. Make
Yeah,
that
That's a good idea.
I love that idea, B. And if you need some help with some ideas, more than willing, call me and we can bounce them off. bounce them off of me, but I think that hit home more personal and we might get, because that's something that we do with Ski for Light, is we try to get personal with our volunteers and our helpers, because that's what brings them back and gets them excited about coming back and wanting to come back and bring somebody, instead of just going there and being unappreciative of not saying, hey, thank you.
Right. It's easy to take the volunteers for granted.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just wondering.
Um,
Oh, I just saw
Okay.
it.
So I'm gonna move on to, let's try to wrap up here, okay? So, because I know I need to make a trip to the restroom. Maybe the others do. Maybe the others do as well.
Just go ahead and go.
So talk amongst yourselves.
So-
Talk about me if you want.
We could do the blanket kind again, or was that, okay?
No, so I went out the day after camp and bought all the material.
Because I think that that's one of the things that, when we talked about whether or not we need to do crafts, that people really like that. And they can, they can move around and go to different spots,
Right.
and I think that's a great idea.
Are you gonna sew the edges or the sides?
No, theirs is completely, it's a four-sided one.
Oh, okay.
But I do two sides, I do the two ends before I bring them, just so I can keep them in balance
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
and level.
I can tell you that they're done so that folks can just sit down and do them, that's
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, and I don't know. Because of the fact that you're not able to find. Blanket stuff and, I mean, we've got it for this year, right?
Yeah.
But we won't for next year, will we? Unless we come up with some.
Unless we find a place that's gonna do fleece.
Well, in Kalamazoo, they have Fields Fabric, which does stuff like that. I ended up having to go to a place in Ann Arbor, it's very expensive. So it's not what I used to find at Joann's, which
Right,
was
because I
reasonable.
went down, somebody said, Michael's is picking it up. Well, Michael's picked up the yarn. And it picked up the cotton material that you have to sew.
Mhm.
They didn't pick up any fleece. I've been to the one in Ann Arbor, two in Ann Arbor.
Mhm.
I've been down to Adrian. Nobody's carrying the fleece.
What,
Except for a couple of minor bolts that might be a solid color.
what, Amazon or something like that?
It's almost like you really wanna feel it when, what I found is that, because you can get fleece that's not. That's very thin, that
Yeah,
isn't,
that's
you
no
want a good quality of it, you want it to have
I
the
like
thread count.
I always buy the Blizzard.
I would say
That's
that or the
heavy,
Polar,
it's-
either one,
it's heavier.
yeah,
The no pill is a good.
Yep.
Good one, and I try to mix that one with the Blizzard one, at least have a Blizzard on
Yep.
one side or the other.
it makes a huge difference when
It
you've
does.
got that.
It does.
You pay a little bit more, but it's worth
Yeah,
every penny
I'm
of it,
gonna
You
pick
know-
up cheap junk, because if it's not something I would want, I'm not gonna,
give it to someone else.
somebody else, exactly.
The other thing is, and I hate to say it this way. But I'm gonna say it. With the crafts. The blanket project is. That takes away from people for the crafts, number one. But also, I thought last year, most of the crafts that were chosen. Were not quite appropriate.
They seemed a little juvenile.
Yeah,
I think that it wasn't hard, it was easily done, but I did them with my scout troop when I was.
I mean, the
I
beating,
don't even know what they did.
the beating one that Kathy did for years. That still went, I mean, that was still a hit.
Yeah.
And I think if we were to bring back. Any of that. And then there were all the crafts that, I just remember when Denise. And her husband and her friend did the crafts. We had so many people in there working on crafts.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot.
I just felt like,
Yeah, we lost a lot when she left.
yeah,
And she might come back. Since we're not, enforcing masks. I mean, the reason she didn't come was because we were requiring people to have COVID shots. And masks and stuff, and they didn't believe in it. So,
If you give me a phone number or an email, I'll reach out to her as our
Okay.
governor
okay,
and see what we can do.
yeah, I'll be glad to do that.
My other thing, I
Because she was good. She was really good.
Yeah.
And
Is it okay if I put my hat on for that?
your hat,
Is it my
your
DG?
DJ hat.
What did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now we don't really, I know that Kelly and Anita were not really interested in doing it again. They kind of told me that last year and they wondered whether or not we even needed it. But I think
Oh,
the
for
campers,
Pete's sake.
I think the campers want it, you know, I think
They
they
just
want
didn't
that.
like the crap, so
They
they,
just didn't. So they had 2 or 3
except
people.
for the bird feeder one, that one went over well, but. Julie and I went and did the Mod Podge one, and I thought. This is something you do.
The Mod Podge was,
Where you dip the stuff, the little colored stuff in glue and then they put this colored stuff over the top of it.
oh, I see, okay.
Well, the other thing I was gonna share, and I think you calling your friend, because I think that was good, Elaine. The other thing I wanna say is that I think us opening the upstairs, the crow's nest to the lady campers was a huge hit. And, there are people who like getting away from I don't want to call it the clickiness, they just like to be able to go up and go to bed. Yeah, and we had Shirley, we had, who's the gal from Muskegon? Rosemary.
Shirley,
Uh, yeah, who's the one that it's from Detroit? Brain tumor, Dan. Tanya, I mean, they said, we can come up here, just go to bed.
well, the other suggestion on that was that we basically have a curfew, you know, a lights out, so to speak. And maybe that's part of that, you know, being respectful to others, you know, don't talk all
Yeah,
night.
that's
Well,
okay.
Peggy was kind of surprised at me last year.
You went and shut him up last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would little dream catchers work or
You want me to-
little dream catchers?
Betcha.
Any of those, I've seen those on the circle.
I think it's a great idea if you would
Hey,
be willing to
we-
call
What,
Denise.
had a couple of people come and complain to us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, about the noise.
Noise, yeah.
And I finally just went in and said, you guys may think that this is okay, but it is not. You need to respect other people and quiet your voices down. Or
Good.
something like that. I was not nice.
Did it help?
It is.
I can always go over to the lounge and sit there and talk away.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what the thing is,
They're learning too much by that. point.
Girls-
Get up and go yell at them.
girls or women, I should say, that are blind, and it's not all of them, because I know Haley doesn't feel the same way I do, but it's that whole mentality of we're getting together for a slumber party. And we haven't seen these people so they just. I mean, I remember when my mom would yell at me because my friends and I would be loud at night in our house. So I've since kind of gotten the hang of it and I have a lot of respect for my mom now.
but you didn't have then, right?
No, I was. No, I was
She's a lot
surprised.
wiser than you thought, right? So,
I think she was probably smiling down at me, last year when I went in and told those girls to shut up.
okay, so B is gonna call Denise.
Those are really fun.
I don't know what else you decided while I was gone, but
Tell her,
She don't make
Gary,
it.
Peggy, you wanna see her.
To the
Yeah,
Bible.
that's right, we'll miss you.
Yep.
We're still here.
So she's up in the Flint area. She lives in Grand Blanc, I think is where Fenton. She's in Fenton.
Yeah.
She's in Fenton
Bring my purse up.
and used to be a lioness,
My
but
chair.
they didn't join a club. There's a purse underneath there.
mine.
That's Dorothy's. So okay, so let's try to wrap up. The last thing I had on here was I had promotion. So I've been going to vision fairs and we actually did a sponsorship for the 5K White Cane Walk. And so I have a t-shirt with our with the logo that I kind of made up. So we'd have one thing and we'll do something different with that next year if we do it. But the folks over in Kalamazoo and we went to Western Michigan had a fair, had like a vision fair like the Ann Arbor Library does. It was kind of well attended, but if you've ever been to the Bureau of Services for Blind Persons over at Western Michigan campus, it's like buried inside the campus.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was difficult to find it. I had a hard time finding where I was supposed to go, but I met a lot of different people. And so I've been meeting people at all these things, and I have 5 sheets of like listings of people's names, contacts that I have to kind of get together quickly, and so we can start getting this information out to people. But I've had pretty good luck. The one that I'm not going to attend is the National Federation of the Blind, which is in Auburn Hills next Friday, Halloween Day. And I've opted not to go to that. And I think Haley and Nick are going to print off some flyers to hand out at their table for Ski for Light, so that at least there's some information about winter camp. But I had pretty good success last year with that at the NFB in Kalamazoo. We had quite a few new contacts.
Have we updated our trifold?
I did update it. I actually have copies of it.
Oh.
Let me get those. I brought a lot of things, and there you go.
So I'm proudly gonna represent winter camp and Ski for Light at the same time, all by myself. It's Roger's fixing me.
There you go. Did I not bring those, or did they?
I know we talked about it before, but we're gonna make some Braille pamphlets.
Well, I do have. Yes, we actually do have. I don't know what happened to them. I had a stack of them ready to go, and
I think it was still sitting on the counter.
yeah, I will email a copy of the current pamphlet to you guys. Okay. So Scott, this is an email. This is a Braille pamphlet, and essentially what it is it's a Braille version of what we call the here it is.
I mean, to have it,
It's a Braille version of this.
oh, okay.
So it's this 1-page information about winter camp, dates, when, how much, some of the activities is on this.
Oh, okay.
As
And
a
you have it
Braille.
at your booth?
Well, I won't be there.
No, I meant.
I haven't.
at-
Yes, I have
at
these.
booths?
I have these when I go to these events.
Okay.
Let me take a picture of my phone.
Yeah. See if you can read it. I don't. So yes, one of the ladies who's actually a student and is actually training for Teresa's old job with the Calhoun County school system did these for me, and she made like 60 of them. So it's a Braille version of our basically advance notice.
Oh, look at that again, Roger.
Sure, you can have it. You can have it.
I'm trying to,
I mean, I can't proofread it.
no, but I'm trying to see if you did, but if that statement is in here, now that you mentioned it.
There's a couple of pages there. So I've had pretty good luck. I have an article going into the Lion Pride whenever they publish their next issue. And I think I had one in the district newsletter. And then I've been doing this Facebook promo. So I've been kind of busy this year going to these different places and meeting people. It's been a lot of fun. I was going to say, does anybody want to speak for winter camp at the fall conference?
Thank you.
One way or another, I was gonna say something on it, so.
Do you want me to?
If
I
you'd
think
like to-
Roger's gonna be tied up with his
I might be
hearing.
shaving somehow or other, but
Well,
Um,
I'm emceeing and then I'm doing the parade of checks and
Okay.
everything else, so that's why.
You want me to do it? So you have one last thing to do?
If you would.
Visit Harry, this is a great package store.
Never even heard of that. Where's it at?
Kalamazoo.
Uh,
So it's simple.
So B, yes, if you would like to, you probably could say it a lot better than me. So I think it'd be a lot coming from you as the DG. If you wanted to talk about winter camp. during the project section, you know what I'm saying?
So the only thing that's on here, other than is no masks are welcome if designed, alcohol and recreational cannabis are prohibited. Is that exactly how you have it on there?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, masks are welcome if desired, alcohol and recreational cannabis are prohibited.
Okay, then it is on there.
Okay.
Email.
Okay, so the last thing I had miscellaneous down here, we had talked last year about live casting the talent show. And well, we didn't do that. Because Jesse and if anybody would have done it, it might have been Jesse. And he and Kristen didn't make it to camp last year. And so we also talked about an orientation for new campers.
That would be really good.
And so like the new campers that come, you know, just to take them around to the different places, we'd have to figure out who's going to do that and when they do it. So I think that's still a good idea, because that was a suggestion from summer camp that when people come for the first time, they get an orientation tour of the facility. And so again, that'd be on a Friday. So again, you know, we need more people
It
to
depends on
help do
when they
that.
check in and how
Right.
busy we are, but we could make sure we
Right.
get.
And you could
all
take a
of them
group,
listed, yeah.
you know, you could take a group of people, you know, they could kind of chain up.
Still doing okay back here?
Yeah.
Good, thank
Does
you.
anyone
yeah.
want last call on drinks, any drinks for the road, anything like that for you guys?
No, thank you.
No,
No? Okay,
Just hot water.
yeah.
So one thing, guys, with that too, because it was a big frustration for me being first time summer camp, and I was the one that kind of rose the stink on that. It's not even first timers. If anybody's rusty and doesn't feel comfortable of remembering where they're going, to have a group do that and be with that automatically. Don't make it exclusively just for first timers, because then if you got somebody that's rusty that hasn't been there in a while, then we're not excluding them.
okay. Well,
So
that's.
then they're not overwhelmed either. It's going, and then asking other
Well-
campers, and then the other campers are getting them lost because they don't remember themselves.
Plus, we ran into an issue a couple of years
texted it
ago
to you this time.
with, Char getting lost.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we lost Shar a couple of times. She wound up in the men's dorm because she got on the wrong rope. So I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you know, we tried something different last year with the rope
How to
to
work.
uh
That's great.
to try to get, you know, a little better directional for the campers. And I'm not sure if we were successful. I guess Shar being an example, maybe we weren't as successful. But I guess we're still open to you know,
I think we're ever gonna get that rope thing completely solved. I think that's gonna be an issue we're gonna have. No matter what we do.
Next year's wouldn't work.
well,
We've tried.
we
different-
talked about like a plastic chain for one, but we didn't do that. You know, like a plastic chain that would be obviously different than a rope, you know. Our ropes were a little bit different, but not maybe enough different, you know.
And plus you can't tell when you have gloves on, you can't really feel the texture is different.
Right.
I mean,
Now, the other thing was that, and how you would do this, I think it was William or somebody mentioned that maybe having, you know, having something hanging down from the rope that you could say that if you don't feel anything, then you're on the women's side. If you feel something like a ribbon hanging down, then you know you're on the men's side.
We're gonna have a couple of knots hanging up.
Something like that.
What we could do is
So.
one thing that I bounced off some of the other states, kids programs that I work with the NFB, is even if we just stick with the 2 ropes, but take the one rope and just put knots like a couple inches apart or whatever, a couple feet apart, and if you feel the knots, and that's what it is. So we don't have to get it overly complicated, or put like handkerchiefs every so often, or old socks or something
Doesn't go through my.
on the rope.
Oh, so what Haley's saying, Barry's having trouble hearing because we're not loud on this computer. Haley was saying that some things she's seen with some of the kids programs she works with would be to have like knots every so often,
Yeah,
you know, in the rope itself, or having handkerchiefs hanging down, you know, that you
and on the men's
could
side, that would
distinguish.
probably be good too, just so a car doesn't drive through there.
Right.
Even though
Yeah, you could have something that would identify
Yeah,
that there's a rope there, like a fluorescent strip or something. So,
So like nylon cord, that one be
Well,
textured.
the only thing is like B said, you
For
can't feel
people
with
with
your
gloves.
gloves the differences.
yeah,
Or you could feel the difference in a big knot, you know, knots or an object.
a knot would be very easy to feel.
Be better.
Yeah, right. So we just have to get a long enough rope that you can actually tie a knot, you know, or
well, I've got,
The one is-
fluorescent strips that we could tie on her, so you're gonna feel those as you go through and
Right.
put them every 10
Right.
feet or so.
right. So let's keep that thought in mind, and I'll write that in the notes, identifying ropes.
You don't have any problems with the bathrooms anymore?
What's that?
Bathrooms, marking the bathrooms.
We put signs on them in Braille and that worked
Yeah.
out fine.
Okay. Did I get those back?
I have no idea.
I think we forgot to pick them up.
Another
Somebody-
suggestion that Nick and I had was we can always ask at registration, hey, are you directionally challenged or something of that, you know, easy sorts of, hey, do you need a little extra help? And then work with them a little extra, maybe buddy up one of the seasoned campers with a new camper or somebody that's not as good, or like a bunk buddy or something like that.
So what you're saying is to find out if when they check in, are you directionally challenged? Like, right? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
anything. Do you need a little extra help when you're in the dorm?
Oh,
And pair them up with the bunk buddy, find out the campers, you know, like me, for example. Yeah, I'll go, my bunk buddy, I'll help them find the bathroom when we get in the dorm, work with them a little bit, stuff like that. Use us to help each other instead of all the sighted volunteers being pulled away.
yeah. Well, that does happen kind of organically, I guess, with some of the campers. They request to be with certain people,
Yeah,
you know, and so it's kind of hard to, you know, we kind of let them kind of choose who they want to be with. And if they're both directionally challenged, maybe that's an issue, but hopefully one of them kind of knows where they're at.
we've tried assigning people and that doesn't work. They're never where they want to be.
Right. So okay, so we got the ropes. We talked about so maybe on the orientation, like when people kind of get there before dinner, maybe that would be a good time to do an orientation
Yeah.
for the campers, rather than doing a bunch of times for people as they come in.
Well, it depends on how many people we have to do it, what other things are going on. So
Right.
if we have a break, you know, we're waiting an hour for something, it'd be a good
Right.
time.
Well, those early trained people,
Yeah.
that come, we could break them off,
That's what
you
I'm
know,
thinking.
and then do that, and then they'd be
You'll-
done, and
You'll
then
have a list of,
the later people. Yeah. Okay.
and I flag them with their name tags too, so we know.
Right. Okay.
It's really nice.
Well, I think we've had some really good suggestions today.
Mhm.
And I'll see how AI did on transcribing this conversation,
Good.
and we'll see what we have. But I want to thank
Actually signed up for
everybody.
the AI for beginners course.
Hey, I just thought of an idea. Maybe something stupid, easy, that's super cheap is maybe we do the rope with the knots, but then also maybe put a cowbell or something. So if they're shaking that rope and they hear a sound to it, then, oh, wait, I'm at the wrong place.
I thought about that. Actually, that ran through my mind. Put a cowbell on one of the ropes.
I think that is a great idea.
So if if you're on the rope and you hear it, because once you grab the rope, it's going to start ringing.
So we put the
Right.
knots on the men's and the cowbell on.
Cowbell on
There
the,
you go.
I would suggest to have it be one or the other, but yeah.
Mhm.
You'd be hearing a lot of bells. There's a lot more women than there are men. They'll be ringing a lot. We may
I'll
never
come up
sleep.
with something.
Oh, we'll sleep.
So, good.
Well,
All righty.
I'm
Well,
afraid of overheating.
again, we've been here for a couple hours now, so thank you all. I appreciate the time.
Nice to
And,
meet you, Nick and Haley.
So I think we're gonna close out. If
You're
you
welcome.
She said,
go ahead, B.
I said, thank you for being patient with us.
No, thanks for being patient with us. But bring us back, never hesitate to involve Nick and I because we love to do this kind of stuff. And like we were gonna say in December, if you guys have a physical meeting, let us know. Even if it's a week or so ahead of time, and we'd love to come join you guys in person if you do it on a weekend.
So they're offering to come if we do a physical meeting at the camp, they would offer to come down.
Where are they from?
They live in Bay City,
We're only 2 hours from Battle Creek,
right? It's a
and
couple
Nick
hours
loves
away.
to drive, so that's nothing for us.
I want to take the opportunity to thank Nick for all the help with the meals. Really, really does make things go better. So thank you, Nick.
And
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We have the heart and soul and passion in this stuff. That's
Yeah.
why we want to combine these camps and kids together.
And we can make this registration go again this year just as well as we did last year.
Yeah.
I'll be bouncing it all over again.
Well, good. Well, again, what? I'm sorry, B. Go ahead.
I have one of those ball for all things. Or ball for all balls.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we could have, I don't know, a game of dodgeball or
Well,
something.
so I had this on the list, which you can't see, but they have a Gaga ball court
Yeah.
at the camp. And Gaga ball is like a combination of kickball and dodgeball. So you essentially have a group of people in it's like an arena. It's about 15 feet across. And so basically you have a dodgeball or a ball like that, and you're basically kicking it at people. And last year I actually bought it's the size of a soccer ball with bells in it.
Oh, you got
So I have one of those.
I have one of the little soccer balls too.
I
That
actually
at
bought one.
convention from Lions convention, I could bring mine too.
Okay. Because they do have the small ones. The ball for all is kind of a small thing, but you can get them bigger. But I got one off Amazon. That's about like that, So we just didn't have any takers last year, and it was kind of like we had enough going on that nobody was. But if we start getting some younger people coming, and I think we'd have an opportunity for that to be an activity.
Yeah.
So.
I think the snowmobiles won last year in the cold weather, so
Yeah.
being able to go do that was.
Who
people
knows?
Did not stay in.
Who knows what the weather's going to be?
Well, doing something like that, depending if you had weather like last year, no, but if you had weather like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I just have one last suggestion for you guys for if it's too cold or too warm and we can't go outside and do things, is a big hit is a poker run for fun and have like number one prize winner. And indoors you have little stations set up, and that's always fun and a big hit too for all the events that I go to. Even the kids, you teach them, even if it's just flashcards or something like that.
So what she's saying is a poker run for fun as an indoor activity. And you would have to explain that to me a little bit more in terms of how that works.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like playing poker. I don't know how to play poker myself, but you have different stations where you get to pick. You can only go around 3 times. This is what we do at Ski for Light. You can only go around 3 times on your skis, and you can pick a new card or put a card back. And whoever has, the royal flush or whatever, whoever has that. Well, Nick can put that on paper for you guys, but that would be a fun activity indoor if the weather doesn't cooperate. And yet, it's an interactive thing for everybody. And then you could always make it into a prize if you wanted to. You don't have to, but you could to make it more competitive. Hey, I'm going to win, and get everybody involved. And everybody, their little friend group, they all go as a team together. Or you can go as a separate and beat everybody.
Okay.
Cause
Well-
cause you know, you just bring Braille cards. And everybody can do it that way, or you put a sighted person in each group, you know, we say there's 50 campers and we split it up into groups of 10 and we put a sighted person in that group that for the people that can't read the Braille or the print, and then we make it a competition of fun.
Hmm.
And that's always a highlight.
Different.
Hey, next year I'm gonna beat ya because I got the royal flush. I got, you know, whatever. So that's always something because I'm a part of the games and activities committee for that and the Bell program and a couple other states. So that's always a big hit because with the kids that we do, you know, we don't do the poker because we don't want to teach them that. We do flashcards with the alphabet or the numbers on it. So then we're taking that, you know,
Okay.
gambling part out of it, you could say.
Right. Well, if Nick could put that down on paper and send it to me, I think that's an interesting thought for, you know, like I say, if we have another polar vortex, you know, where we don't want to be outside, you know, or there's a lot of people that just don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
You know, they'd rather stay inside and play
We just
bingo.
have to come up with some other alternatives to put Gwen and the people that sell stuff. Because we don't want another mishap like happened last year, right, Jim?
Yeah,
Right.
they can't sit there right by the water
Right.
faucet.
Haley, do you want to be camper incognito?
If you don't want to, I will.
Well, it's because I'm district governor,
I know you're busybody.
so.
You know, I don't mind doing it. I would love to take your.
Okay,
You and I can just be
I'll
each
give you a
other's
call.
shadow. Yeah.
I'll give you a call and tell you everything that you need to know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lots of good conversation.
So Jim, are you willing to do drinks again?
Suppose.
If you guys need donations with different things and you can't do the costs all by yourselves, just let Nick and I know because his shop, he has a great team because Nick's a team leader and he works for GM in Flint on the engine line. And they're always asking Nick, well, what can we donate to? What's Haley doing this time? So they're always wanting to help out us us to be able to do what we want and have fun too, because they see the joy that Nick comes back with it.
Right. Okay. Well, water is a good thing. It seemed like we didn't have enough water last year, so
The big bottles or the little ones?
like the cases of water, you know.
Yeah, but the little bottles or the big
Little-
bottles?
Well, the smaller ones are better because nobody drinks a whole thing.
Okay.
They leave
Yeah.
it someplace. So it's
Well,
small.
Nick and I will donate a thing of that, and then we'll do snacks for Friday night. We'll do maybe some Chex Mix and the popcorn, give people two options.
Okay.
Regardless, even if we don't do a movie night, if we did a game night or whatever, we'll still do that.
Saturday afternoon or something.
They used to do cribbage. They used to have cribbage tournaments in at winter camp. That was a big thing.
Well, I know Ski for Light, their big thing, you remember, Roger, is euchre. Oh man, everybody gets heated and excited about that. In summer camp this year, it worked out really well. We did Uno. Everybody got together after everybody else went to bed, and we did blind Uno. You know, we had some blind Uno cards, and Nick actually and a couple other sighted helpers actually helped do that. So we could always do that as an option of tell everybody, you know, I can spread the word, tell all the campers, hey, just bring your own favorite card game. Yeah.
And
Have
large
cards and snacks on Friday night. Something laid back, but everybody gets roiled up and excited, but it's not just sitting there staring at a wall.
Yeah, next time you're over, I'll show you. I've got a barrel of that.
How much were the water bottles? The Stride water bottles?
They're like $75.
Could you get that for the campers, the Bill?
The
then
hard
winter
part
camp?
is that
They
they
leave
don't
them.
know whose is whose.
It's like canes. You know, it's like if you put your cane down and you forget where you put it,
Yeah.
it's hard to find it. So
That's why I personally put a keychain on when I go to winter camp and stuff because there's too many canes. So then I can just say, hey, mine has a Winnie the Pooh keychain on it or whatever.
You got a braille labeler?
Art does.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, but
It takes a long time to make a label.
it's. And on some canes, it's not if the canes are the canes that have the rounded.
I'm not talking Keith, I was thinking of the glasses.
Or the water bottle.
Water bottle.
You could pre-make them.
Oh,
Let's use numbers.
Yeah.
But the problem is none of us, like me, for example, and all the newbies, they're not gonna know how to read Braille, so you're still gonna lose these water bottles, so we're gonna be losing money,
yeah,
unfortunately. I hate to be the buzz killer on that one, I love the idea, but that's something you can put on the packing list, is a suggestion, bring your own water bottle.
Water bottle, right? Identifiable water bottle, right? I don't know if we do or not. I'd have to look at it. Okay. Seems like there was something else that popped into my head. Oh, Michigan Youth Challenge Academy. Are you still kind of involved with those guys, Peggy, or do you want to be? Do you want to?
Want me to get it back? Sure.
You got the person right there in front of you that controls that.
Who's that?
The beat.
what are you talking about?
Are you gonna put me back
Michigan
on
Youth-
this Michigan Youth Challenge? Chair?
Who is it? I didn't know who it is.
I don't know who it is.
I didn't bring a roster. No, I don't
So
have.
as you guys are talking about that, let's
Sure.
cross our fingers and hope Nick's little cousin Akira, she's actually in the cadet program right now, and we're hoping she'll go back after Christmas. So hopefully we'll have Akira.
Oh,
So I'm hoping you guys cross your fingers and pray super hard because we really want her to move on.
she's in Battle Creek.
No, she's in
Oh.
Battle Creek right now at school.
Right, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but so we're hoping because she has gotten herself in trouble in school and only has, since she's been in the cadet program, and she has only 2 classes left before to graduate from high school.
Oh,
Being in that program, and she's supposed to be in 11th grade, and she's only at an 8th grade level. And
Okay.
being in that program has brought her up to graduating,
that's good.
possibly. She's got 4 more weeks left.
Okay.
10 kids.
So we're hoping that she
10.
wants to further her education and take her life serious instead of slipping
Okay.
back into the path of life.
Well, that's good to know. We'll look for her.
There's usually more guys.
There's usually more women than men. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but the cadet,
Oh.
there's usually more men than
Men.
women.
Right. I would say maximize I would say 6 and 4 if we can do that. I know what I was going to say was while the cadets are eating breakfast, or while the campers are eating breakfast, we should have the cadets or at least 2 or 3 of them go and scout through the dorm to try to find luggage that
On Sunday.
on Sunday. And so because we continue to have people leave a bag, at least one person leaves a bag. And one of the things that we did last year, our friend Wayne, he suggested we put say fluorescent tags and ribbons on the train passengers so that we know who's on the train, because that's the hardest. If they leave and they haven't picked up their bag, it stays there. And we didn't get a message until late last year on one of them. So they could if they could go through and try to find any orange tag bags that are still in the dorm, and bring them over to the dorm so that we can get them loaded up. Orange ribbon is fine. Fluorescent, fluorescent ribbon is better.
Right.
And but yeah, that was one thing that I wanted to mention. But yes, if you wouldn't mind, do you have the contact information for the Michigan Youth Challenge? I can send that to you.
Send it.
I'll
If
send
you got
it.
something.
It's
Might be
Kitty.
more current than mine.
Yeah.
Ready from what end of it?
Well, we have campers coming in at noon to 1. So usually
10.
around, I don't know, when did we have them last year? 11?
11:30, that's enough time to give them a quick orientation and what we want, expect.
Right. So
You want them at 11 or 11:30?
let's say if we tell them 11:30, they'll come at 11.
Yeah, and it'll take them a while to get from the train out there, so
Right.
it gets some time.
And they're.
So-
they're gonna be there till. Typically, they will stay through the day into the evening. And then they might leave, probably about the time the talent shows or the entertainment starts. But then on Saturday, if they can stay till and be part of the talent show, so that's a little bit later. And then Sunday till like noon.
What about January or December, the zone meeting?
Right. So we would have a zone meeting.
Is that scheduled yet?
But
Or
what, 6, 7,
I don't know.
6,
okay.
7?
I'm sorry.
In
6
the
or
morning,
7?
but they usually come at 7.
Oh,
All right,
let's see. We need to have them there at 7, right?
7?
Is that when we start?
What time do we eat?
Well-
We eat before that?
Or do they have to be there at 6:30? I can't remember what we did last year.
Let's see, so campers eat at 8, we
We eat at 7,
7, so they need to be
7:15.
there.
I think we
had,
put it at 7:15, didn't we?
there, yes.
We feed them breakfast too, right?
They eat breakfast then too, so they'd
Yeah.
have to be there by 7 at least. And
Yeah.
then to set up the tables, because they set up the tables and, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and they can get it
And
all
then-
done in 15 minutes.
Right.
7 a.m. both of those days?
Yep.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. Okay,
And they're gonna have a leader or human guide in December or January.
It'd be January.
It'll be January. So the cadets could come and
Might be the 11th.
become human guides.
It's on Sunday.
Come to the zone meeting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
That was, she was gonna do it on Sunday afternoon. The week that we didn't have a sound concert. So you just need to look
The
at.
problem
dates.
with that,
The lady switched her dates.
and it's not really a problem, is, they'll need to know the date for that.
Yeah, I guess, or hope us to get a hold of Teresa or get that straightened
May
out.
not know until after the fall conference, but
Yeah, because we gotta schedule it with the church and everything.
that won't be a problem.
Okay.
That won't be an issue.
Are we gonna do the same meal we usually do for Friday?
We've been doing Subway.
Yeah, I know. So you want us to still bring the water, the chips and
If you can do that, that'd be
and everything
fantastic.
that we have for the last few years and
Yeah.
we'll just get.
We'll do the sandwiches. Right.
Okay, this will be on us. All right,
If you're okay with that, then
we're fine with it.
so I'm gonna send you the contacts that I have.
Okay. Do I stay in my jacket on Saturday?
You don't have to be in it at all. If you don't want to be. No
Really?
one's gonna be able to see you.
I just have to have my pen.
Oh, yeah, you're always supposed to have a lion's pen on.
No, I'm not my,
Sale.
No, you mean your pens that you wanna sell?
no, I meant I need to wear my pin and my badge.
Yeah.
So,
Good with that.
Wouldn't hurt you to wear your
What-
name badge, cause there will be sighted people that.
Yeah, put it in the pocket.
yeah, I know, you sighted people have to see
Right.
everything.
In your pocket.
It's not have to, it's just that we have the opportunity to.
Never like to be in my world, that's the problem.
I was in your world last night, ran into my night thing on the end of my bed, cedar chest.
Well, I mean, what I mean is. And this is what I don't think people realize, I get why people wear name tags. So that you sighted people know who is who. But sometimes I think it would be great. If you didn't wear name tags and then you had to try and figure out who was who.
Some of us do.
I know.
So what, you want me not to wear my name tag this year so you can figure out who I am?
Now, Nick, I recognize your voice. That's pretty easy. There are people whose voices aren't distinctive. Jesse's voice sounds like a lot of other people. He's gonna have a hard time.
But then I can change who I am too. I could be I could be Cartman, I could be Angelino, I could be Miss Ellie here. That's whining.
How about Kermit the Frog?
You know, I don't know where Miss Piggy went today. She She went down the road.
We brought ice last year, I think. I think I brought ice for the coolers.
Yeah, there's usually ice for the coolers.
Yeah,
Oh, they have ice. They
had
have.
ice machine.
They had a giant ice machine maker.
Oh, they do, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't need.
They
it
do.
Twice, okay.
Maybe why don't you just bring a big bucket so we can just bring the ice pick for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I made copies of, but I was thinking about last night. Last year we had this, it was called Welcome Volunteers and Guests, which was
What?
yeah, we had this at the desk. So,
I remember it well. Art probably does too. You won't grab it, Jim.
So this was our attempt to kind of let people know that that because of the meal cost, we would, if they were willing to donate, and we suggested $10 towards your lunch or your dinner, we would appreciate it. We know that you've driven here and are giving up your time to help our friends. We appreciate your sacrifice and support of our project. So then the bottom part of this is like activities and where they can help.
Yeah,
You can, yes, you may. You sure may.
the donations equated to about $200 and it's for about 3 people.
Yeah.
Or less than somebody else.
Right.
We would have,
You weren't there.
You weren't there. So Jim donated part of the
I donate like
his
half the cost of the pop.
half the cost of the pop and that sort of thing. So anyway, so that's it's like for years and years they didn't charge volunteers anything. But I know that going to the Michigan Ski for Light, it's not a cheap event. It's like, how much is the full cost of the weekend, Nick?
It's without ski rental. With ski rental, it's $265. Minus ski rental, it's $55 for that.
Right. So I mean, it's like, this is a deal.
Like 210, give or take.
Right. So
I take it back, 185, Roger.
I think I paid 185 or something like that, right?
You paid a little less, I think, because you came up with just one night.
Right, came up for one night, right?
Because we discount, depends on how many nights you stay. We can
Sure.
budget in for meals and nightly lodging.
But that covers all the meals and the lodging at the McMullen Center, and all the activities and things like that. So by comparison, our event is pretty cheap, and so, we've discussed, charging volunteers to come. We do ask $50 for the companions that come. If a camper brings a human guide, we do ask them to pay as well. But quite honestly, I think if you figure the cost of food and everything, it's about $180 a camper, that it really costs. So the $50 is about a third, not quite a third of the cost for the campers, to put the camp on, I guess you'd say. So, that's, I think we still need to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to keep it at $10, maybe if we say $10, they'll give more. If they're willing to give more, but
10's a good round number, and if anything they give is gonna help.
yeah, anything they give is gonna help. And also, I'm gonna deliberately lowball the number of people I anticipate coming.
Yeah.
Because last year on the lunch, I was way over for some reason. The other meals, actually, because we're counting the number of people that are actually eating. And the breakfasts and the dinners were pretty close, but for some reason I was way over on lunch. And so we get charged by the meal or by the numbers that we actually submit. And so Matthew, bless his heart, but basically split the difference between what we actually counted and what I had estimated. So he didn't charge us the full amount, for what I had estimated as numbers. So I'm going to go with a lower number.
Those are the hardest things to estimate,
Right.
especially in your final numbers. I can tell you that even with this
Yep.
art event.
So,
Yep.
so for the volunteers, are you gonna put like a donation box or whatever,
at the
like
desk.
Bedford?
Yeah, so they'll collect at the desk.
Oh, not right at the dinner or right at,
Well, when they come, when they check in.
Yeah.
So it's because they may not stay for dinner, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
they may not eat, but
Do you want me to stay at the registration table and do the sandwich count?
if you would like to,
Then I can just put it on my note taker and.
sure.
Well,
Okay. All right. Anything else? We keep thinking of things. Anything else that we, if I guess I'm gonna say, if we think of anything else, let me know. And I will try to put this together in some semblance of a review. But again, I appreciate everybody coming. And Nick and Haley, for you guys, and I know Nick, you maybe can go back and take a nap. Before you
I'm
have
not going to bed.
before you have to go to work.
No, I'm getting ready to leave here soon. I gotta head to the pharmacy early.
Okay. All righty.
No.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and